Have you ever wondered if you're a lightworker and what a lightworker is? Our times have been prophesied in many ancient sacred texts as the times when the light returns to the earth. Slowly we've begun preparing for the age of light since the period of enlightenment. Hello. Welcome to Mega K Movies and Motivations. Today, we will talk about 18 clear traits you're a lightworker and what it means. But before we proceed, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and bell notification for you to be notified on our latest uploads. Let's begin. Since the 60s, we became more ready, and ultimately we entered the age of light in 2012. The year 2012 was highly misunderstood, and the true meaning was covered under layers of fear and control-driven agendas. Nevertheless, a powerful shift has happened, and many lightworkers have heard the call and started waking up massively. Perhaps you're one of the lightworkers since you've been drawn to this video. There are no coincidences. What is a lightworker? A lightworker is a person who has chosen to come to Earth, especially at these times, to help transmute the darkness into the light. Although this may sound overpowering, it is not. Each fear-based thought, feeling, or action you choose to transform into light serves not only to you but everyone. As you gradually learn to anchor more light in all of your body's mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, the more you help others to do the same. You're meant to shine as bright as you can and not ever let anyone stop your inner light and greatness. A lightworker can choose different ways how to shine their light. First, you need to use your inner light to heal yourself. Then you're ready to help others. You may be called to become a nurse, loving mother, painter, yoga teacher, writer, singer, composer. But I've also met lightworkers who are accountants or managers. Lightworkers are simply everywhere, across the globe, genders, ages, and cultures. There are no limits to your light. The world needs you wherever you are. Remember, being a lightworker is not just about you. You already have everything you need to complete your life mission. You've been getting ready for these times for centuries. From my experience, if you're a lightworker, you know what I'm talking about, and the following traits of a lightworker will strongly resonate with you. 18 clear traits you're a lightworker. Number 1. You feel like you're wasting time. One of the interesting traits of a lightworker is that you have an unexplainable feeling that you waste your time. Very likely, you can recall that feeling since you were little, and it often made you feel anxious or depressed. Deep inside, you know that you're ready to do something great, but when you were younger, you couldn't have figured out what it was, or you were afraid to start. The feeling of wasting time isn't pleasant. It can take over you to the point that you don't find satisfaction until you begin to act on that. And this is the exact reason why you have it. It continually reminds you that you're here to do more. This feeling doesn't let you rest on your laurels and go the easy way through life. Something more is requested from you, and you're reminded of it until you begin to act on it. Unfortunately, some of the lightworkers haven't started to act on their inner call. I've met many addicted people to alcohol or drugs who are lightworkers, but they haven't allowed themselves to follow the call. As a result, they began to unconsciously numb that voice with additives. Number 2. You feel your life purpose, even if you don't know what it is. This trait of a lightworker is related to the previous sign. You've always been called to act on your light. As a lightworker, you know that there is some greater destiny for you and you feel attracted to it. You've spent a lot of time figuring out why you're here and what your life purpose is. Perhaps, you've read many articles or books about these topics. And you've also played with that idea ever since you can remember. Sometimes to the limits of obsession. The reason is again the same. The universe wants you to awaken so that you can start acting on your life's purpose consciously. There is a vast universe of a difference when you act on your life mission by design or not. Because if you become a conscious co-creator with the universe, you can accomplish so much more. You tap into your unlimited capacity, and the only limitation lies in your mind, how much you allow yourself to shine. When you realize what your life purpose is, you can transform your whole life. Number 3. You feel like an alien who just landed on planet Earth. I haven't met a lightworker who wouldn't have told me that they feel like they don't belong here. Often their families haven't accepted them fully, and neither had they have many true friends while growing up. The way how our society works make lightworkers feel saddened or depressed. The world saddens lightworkers because we're here to change the old structures and create a new world that is based on more freedom and love. For a lightworker, it's difficult to fit in, and this feeling prevails in their adult years too. Some of the lightworkers are wrongly judged as unsocial or weird, when all they need is to understand that their strength comes from their connection with their soul and heart. And for that, they need to spend a lot of time alone when they align with their higher self and download information and instructions for the next steps. Number 4. You want to save the world. Every lightworker feels like they've come here to save the world. Deep inside, they're sick of the ways the world works, and they hate seeing people to suffer, and they want to change that. As a lightworker, you want to save your family, friends, and then ultimately, the whole planet. Sounds like a too big task. Well, it is. Part of that feeling comes from the ego, but that would be another topic. And the other part comes from the recognition of the fact that as a numerous family of lightworkers, when we turn our lights on, we can indeed change the world for the better. Number 5. You have a lot of dark stuff going on. The primary task of a lightworker is to transmute dark into the light. In order to do so, you've experienced a lot of darkness in your life. You've been through challenging situations, and sometimes you've hit bottom emotionally or spiritually. Although lightworkers, just as anyone else, dream about having a loving family and an easy life. Most of them haven't had that luxury for the simple reason they've been trained since their very first days to recognize all kinds of darkness and understand how to transmute it to the light. It's not uncommon that some of the lightworkers also came here to resolve their family karma and thus liberate whole generations from unhealthy family patterns. Again, this is not something that should bother you. Just focus on healing yourself first. And that alone should be enough to help your family members too. Maybe they're not ready to receive your light at the moment, but you create that opportunity for them once they can receive the light. Number 6. You're a powerful manifester. When you look back at your life, you may notice that you've manifested what you've wanted. At least to a certain degree. And often, without you creating extra effort or following some law of attraction guidelines. This is because you have high levels of energy that finds its way into a material manifestation fast. Yet there is a little warning coming with that. You're more powerful than you give yourself credit for. Thus you need to be extra cautious and responsible for the ways you direct your energy. Unconsciously you can create distress, to yourself or others, if your energy isn't aligned. Number 7. You're an empath. Not every empath is a lightworker. But I dare to say that every lightworker is an empath. An empath is a person who can feel the suffering but also joy and anything in between from other people. Before empaths become aware of this trait, they can assume, logically, that what they feel is theirs. When in fact, they've only picked up the energy of someone else. Number 8. You're interested in ancient history and philosophy. In a way, Lightworkers are here to restore the ancient knowledge and add more wisdom that we've gained over the centuries of being surrounded by a lot of darkness. As a lightworker, you feel naturally drawn to ancient texts as if you'd be searching for some important answers that can change the directions of your life. You feel connected to ancient times and receive a lot of strength from it. Just keep in mind that the moment this turns into obsession, you're more drifting in your life, which doesn't serve anyone. You need to learn to stay balanced, grounded, and in a present moment. Keep in mind that whatever you're experiencing, you're not alone. There are many lightworkers out there, and the more you turn your light on, the easier others find you. Number 9. Lightworker is an encoded word. The word lightworker itself is made of the language of light, so it helps you remember who you are. If you feel attracted to this word for whatever reason, then that is another sign you're a lightworker. Some words are created uniquely to invoke deep remembrance within us. The right people feel like something new is opening up within them when they see this word. Number 10. Deep calling to help others. Another trait you're a lightworker is that you've always felt the urge to help others. Often it feels stronger than you, and you can't help it. You've desired to help others ever since you remember. Whenever you see someone unhappy or having difficult times, you naturally want to do something to uplift them. Number 11. Belief in a higher power. No matter how dark moments you've been, you've always felt connected to a higher power of your belief. It may or may not be God, the universe, or the light. As a lightworker, you believe in something greater than you. Sometimes you feel the higher power to move through you and your life. Even though your prayers may not have always been answered, you've always known that the universe was created for something greater than just us living here one life and then die. You've never questioned that there is something beyond our comprehension, and you feel to be a part of it. Number 12. You've had a challenging childhood. Lightworkers often feel lonely and misunderstood because they experienced a tough childhood. You may have experienced mental, emotional, or physical abuse. Your parents may have had financial difficulties that reflected on you. Your classmates never understood you, and often you wondered if you can make it in this hostile world. Lightworkers experience difficult childhoods so that they understand the darkness and find a way out of it. Number 13. You attract people with problems. Another common trait of a lightworker is that they attract people with problems. When you have a closer look at your friends, the chances are that they have many challenges and they complain a lot. You also attract energy vampires, narcissists, and people who don't give you much in return. Sometimes it feels like you're caught up in a vicious circle because those people seem to find you wherever you go. Number 14. A deep spiritual shift. Although you've always been interested in spirituality at some point, you've experienced a deep spiritual shift. Possibly your spiritual awakening was very strong and your life has consequently fallen apart. If you're now going through this phase, you wonder why it feels so intense and why you sometimes feel like you can't handle it. Even though it may seem at your limits of what you can withstand, trust that there is a greater power realigning the energy in your life with your highest potential. Number 15. You know how to move through the darkness. Another essential trait of a lightworker is that they can move through the darkness. The darkness may show up in your life as depression, anxiety, self-doubts, or unfavorable external circumstances. No matter how deep into the darkness you go, you eventually find your way back to light. Sometimes it takes a longer time for you, especially when you struggle with topics that are near to your heart. Everyone has one or more special areas that are most difficult to heal and which holds us in the darkness longest. However, with the rest of the problems, you're able to find your way out of it. You feel guided to read certain spiritual books or reach out for help to a healer or coach. Number 16. Emotional ups and downs. Your mood is constantly changing. When you feel good, you feel very close to God, and everything in your life seems to flow effortlessly. But all of a sudden, your mood can change, and you feel down. When you feel bad, you cut yourself off the universal flow of energy, and as a result, things in your life begin to stagnate. Your thoughts follow your emotions, and often you can be caught up in negative thinking patterns for days or even longer. Number 17. Strange dreams. Some people don't remember their dreams, but this isn't true for you. The next sign of a lightworker is that you have dreams that others would consider strange. Perhaps you can manipulate your dreams and experience lucid dreaming. Or you travel to the astral plane or across the universe during the night. You may also see the future or the past or things from other people's lives that they had never shared with you. In the dream state, you may also go to a spiritual school during the night, where you're initiated and trained on how to use your psychic abilities. Number 18. Who am I? Why am I here? Who am I? Why am I here? Are the two questions that have always echoed in your head. Ever since you remember, you've been contemplating the meaning of life and your purpose. As a lightworker, you've always felt that there is a greater mission for you, and you wished to remember it. You've also felt that once you do remember who you are and your purpose, then everything falls into place. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. A playlist is going to pop up right now with more videos you'll love.